Home Tutor is welcoming back to you to another session. So, welcome, welcome, and welcome. I'm your personal teacher, Nipan. So, in this chapter of 8th Standard History, How, When, and Where, we're going to study about surveys become important. So, what are survey? Why did the Britishers conduct a survey? What are the different types of surveys they have conducted? All these will be discussed in this topic, and we have already done a few more parts, few more sessions before in the same chapter. Please do watch that for that continuity. Otherwise, it will be quite difficult for understanding the next sessions. So let's go to the topic. Surveys become important. Before looking to our topic, let's go to source one. So here there is a reporting done during British's time regarding the Indian naval mutiny, and the reportings are from three different places, that is Bombay, Karachi, Visakhapatnam. Let's look into this. Reports to the Home Department. In 1946, the colonial government in India was trying to put down a mutiny that broke out on the ships of the Royal Indian Navy. Here is a sample of the kind of reports the Home Department got from the different dockyards. Bombay. Arrangements have been made for the army to take over ships and establishments. Royal Navy ships are remaining outside the harbour. Karachi. 301 mutineers are under arrest and a few more strongly suspected are to be arrested. All establishments are under military guard. Visakhapatnam. The position is completely under control and no violence has occurred. Military guards have been placed on ships and establishments. No further trouble is expected except that a few men may refuse to work. Director of Intelligence HQ, India Command, and this is the report that have been done long back, that is back to 100 years. In source 1, we can see an example of report taken from the dockyards when India was under a colonial government. The Royal Indian Navy mutiny broke out in 1946 because the Indian sailors who worked in the Royal Indian Navy was paid less, unhygienic situation of work or work atmosphere, and racial discriminations. So, after the mutiny has broke out in 1946, the British Army suppressed it, and at that time, reports were given to the Home Department. Let's see the reports from different dockyards given to the Home Department. From Bombay, it is reported that the army advanced into the ship and made the area safe. The Royal Navy ship is safely harbored outside. Another report from Karachi is that 301 mutineers were arrested and some suspected mutineers are under surveillance. This area is under military force. Finally, from Vizag, that is the new name of Visakhapatnam. Vizag Harbour is completely under military force and free from violence. There were the area in which the ship was under the military guard, and in this area some people refused to work too. So this was a style of reporting at that period, and all these are available only because the Britishers kept these things as official record and saved in archives and museums. Surveys become important. The practice of surveying also became common under the colonial administration. The British believed that a country had to be properly known before it could be effectively administered. For smooth administration of colonies, survey was a common practice followed by Britishers, and they believed that the colonies should be properly surveyed for better and systematic administration. Survey means examining and recording the areas and features so as to construct a map, plan, or description of plants, animals, areas, etc. By the early 19th century, detailed surveys were being carried out to map the entire country. In the villages, revenue surveys were conducted. The effort was to know the topography, the soil quality, the flora, the fauna, the local histories, and the cropping pattern. All the facts seen as necessary to know about to administer the region. From the end of the 19th century, census operations were held every 10 years. These prepared detailed records of the number of people in all the provinces of India, noting information on caste, religion, and occupation. There were many other surveys: botanical surveys, zoological surveys, archaeological surveys, anthropological surveys, forest surveys. Okay, in order to study about the Indian territory, detailed surveys were carried out in the first half of 19th century. Revenue, that is income. So revenue survey were conducted in villages areas to know the topography. Topography means the arrangement of the natural and artificial physical features of a particular area, like the quality of soil, then the plants, the animals living in that area. That is flora and fauna. Flora means plants and fauna means animals. Then cropping system, etc. These infos will help to administer the region smoothly. Census operations were also started from the last half of 19th century. It helped to record the people lived in different provinces, their caste, religion, etc. Another surveys conducted were botanical survey, that is regarding the plants, survey regarding the plants. Zoological survey is regarding animals. Archaeological survey is a study about historical monuments, things, etc. Anthropological survey, a study about the humankind, that is mankind. These are some of then forest survey, etc. were done during the time of Britishers for a centralized administrative system. Figure 5. A custard apple plant, 1770s. Botanical gardens and natural history museums established by the British collected plant specimens and information about their uses. Local artists were asked to draw pictures of these specimens. Historians are now looking at the way such informations were gathered and what this information reveals about the nature of colonialism. In figure 5, we can see a picturization of custard apple that have been drawn in 1770s. The British government tried to picturize most of the plants, animals, etc. during their period while they are conducting surveys. They have drawn all these with the help of local artists, and this was done for showing the importance of surveying botanical items and also taking the history of natural vegetations, animals that are around a particular area. The Britishers collected different type of samples and specimens of plants and animals, and they have preserved it in botanical gardens and natural historical museums. We can see botanical gardens if we go to Ooty. There are different variety of trees which have a long back age of 200 years, 300 years, etc. They have only done this because to show the importance of each and every plants and animals. So our historians are thinking that how these people, the Britishers, have gathered all these informations, from where they have got these seedlings, the information about the authentic medicines, etc. And the historians are again wondered that how these colonial people helped to develop a particular country, or what was the intention of these colonial people while they are building another culture, or while they are protecting such specimens for a future use. Figure 6. Mapping and Survey Operations in Progress in Bengal, a drawing by James Prinsep, 1832. Note how all the instruments that were used in surveys are placed in the foreground to emphasize the scientific nature of the project. The scientific approach towards mapping and surveying is clearly shown in this picture. In figure 6, we can see that it is drawn by James Prinsep in 1832, and we can see a mapping and surveying done in Bengal. You can see different type of equipments and instruments in the foreground of this picture, and in the left end you can see a British official verifying the area by using some instruments. Then there are a lot of other instruments also, and British officers are checking and writing details about mapping and surveying in different areas. You can see the pictures here. This shows that how important and how systematic was the British government for mapping and surveying each and every corners and territory of India for a centralized and smooth administration of the colonial country. You may know that the cropping pattern still we are continuing is only the brainwork of Britishers that have done earlier. They have checked the soil and planted different type of vegetations, plantations in different area of India that we have already discussed in part 1 of this chapter. So all these help were done by Britishers to the colonial country only for their profit only, and it is not for any well-being of the particular colonial country. We are only enjoying the fruit of the brainwork of British government that they have done only for the profit. They have looked into the India as a colonial country. Okay, we are concluding this session right now, and I think you have understood each and every points we have discussed. Please try to watch the next videos and also the other parts we have already done in the same chapter for the continuity. Then please watch, like, share, and subscribe, and also don't forget to click on the bell icon for notifications. Thank you very much. Bye. See you on next classes.